Today we are discussing on the topic of New Year resolutions and how different kinds of determinations can affect those resolutions. So let's begin with this verse from the Bhagavad Gita. This is from a section 1833 to 35, which talks about determination in the three modes. So this is determination in the mode of ignorance, in tamoguna. I'll explain the meaning and then we'll recite it. Yaya, that by which, swapnam. Swapnam is dream. Specifically here it refers to daydreaming. Yaya swapnam bhayam. Bhayam is fearful, feeling dread all the time. Then shokam. Shokam is lamenting. Oh, this didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Then vishadam. Vishada is moroseness. Lamenting, shoka is this didn't work. Vishada is nothing will ever work. It's habitual negativity. Shokam, madam. Madam is intoxication. Nothing works. The only thing works is drink and go high. Drink and feel. Madam evacha. Certainly these things. Vishadam madam evacha. Now we all may go through these emotions sometimes. We all may daydream, we all may feel fearful. But these emotions come and go. However, some people, everybody complains. Life is difficult, bad things happen to us. But some people complain constantly. They don't stop complaining. That is the point over here. They don't give up these kind of thought patterns. They don't constantly lamenting, constantly being negative. Durmedha. They have intelligence, but they use the intelligence to find new things to be unhappy about. New things to complain about. Navimuchati durmedha. And such Krishna says in the Gita is dhruti, that is determination. Dhruti, sa partha, o partha, or Arjuna, such partha, dhruti is tamasi. It is in the mode of ignorance. Dhruti sa partha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Vishadam madam evacha. Navimuchati durmedha. Dhruti sa partha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Vishadam madam evacha. Navimuchati durmedha. Dhruti sa partha tamasi. So now, together, not responsibly, but we'll all recite together 3 times. Let's see. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Vishadam madam evacha. Navimuchati durmedha. Dhruti sa partha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Vishadam madam evacha. Navimuchati durmedha. Dhruti sa partha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Vishadam madam evacha. Navimuchati durmedha. training for our self-understanding. Normally, when we go through life, somebody starts life, if you ask a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old boy, they say, who do you want to become? They say, I want to become the most powerful person in the world. I want to become the President of America. Well, you are an Indian citizen, you can't. I want to become the Prime Minister of America, India. I want to become the next IPL star. I want to become a Bollywood star. We all have big, big dreams. But you know that same student, by the time they graduate, say, if I get a job, this is expected. When we are functioning, we start realizing there are huge obstacles from outside that we need to fight against. There are out there forces that are far bigger than us, and those forces can crush us if they come upon us. And this is a sobering realization. This is a humbling realization. However, there is an important further step in growth when we understand that actually there are toxic forces. Not only are there uncontrollable forces outside me, there are uncontrollable forces inside me which push me in the opposite direction. If I want to go this way, there is something from inside me which pushes me against it. That means, if we zoom it out, if this is me, and then there is something inside me, let's say, I resolve I want to go in this direction, but something inside me pushes me in the opposite direction. And this is what often leads to what is called as self-sabotage. We end up doing something which not only harms us, but also ruins us. So what is this force? And sometimes people keep doing those things, even when they are hurt again and again. So in this particular verse, Krishna is talking about determination in the mode of ignorance. So why are we discussing all this in the context of New Year resolutions? Sometimes make a resolution, I'll go in this direction. I'll become more disciplined, I'll become more gentle, I'll become more appreciative, I'll not get angry. So many things you may decide, I'll become more spiritual. We want to go in a particular direction, but we move and slow down, after some time we find something hits us and we start going backward. So why does this happen? We could say there are external obstacles, that is true, no doubt. But along with external obstacles, there are also internal obstacles. And those internal obstacles also need to be dealt with. So the Bhagavad Gita talks about the modes in terms of these internal obstacles. So the modes, the Sanskrit word, what is the Sanskrit word for the modes? Gunas. Now, these are like roads. However, it's important to understand that while they are like ropes, they are a special kind of rope. See, there are ropes which are prisoners' shackles. Prisoner's shackles means if a prisoner is tied, the prisoner will not be able to move at all. This is one kind of rope. But another kind of rope which is like a puppeteer's strings. Now, which kind of ropes are the modes, do you think? Sorry? The puppeteer's strings. Why? Why do you think it's that? Yeah, there's something invisible which is pulling us backward. So it's not so much this as this. Like a puppeteer is moving. And like that we are moving. There's somebody, the alcoholic, is not just lying in bed. Alcoholic will be super active, going from one part of the city to another part of the city to drink something. So there are these forces inside us which can be very strong and which can pull us in various directions. Aneka chitta vibhranta mohajala samavrita prasakta kama bhokeshu patanti narakeshu charo. In the 16th chapter, Krishna explains the series of verses. This we're talking about 16th and 17th verses. They are pulled in different directions. Aneka chitta vibhranta. We are pulled in various directions. And this pulling is done by the minds. And we are moving, and as long as we don't resist the pulling, we don't even realize we are being pulled. It's only when an alcoholic decides I don't want to drink, then they realize how strong the urge to drink is. So, these are pulling us constantly. And now we try to understand the way the modes pull us the ropes pull us when we are in different moods. So in Tamoguna, the sequence is described. Now tamasic buddhi, determination in the mode of ignorance. What does this mean? If somebody may resolve, I am never going to drink again. There was the European thinker Oscar Wilde said, giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I have done it over 100 times. So I gave it up, but it didn't give me up. So what happens? Let's try to look at this downward trajectory. How does one go down? So first is Ayam Swapnam. Swapnam is daydreaming or fantasizing. So at this point, a person is just thinking of things. I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do that. And what they're thinking has very little connection with reality. That way somebody says that, okay, in this next 1 month, I'm going to read 100 pages every day and I'm going to read 30,000 pages book in the next 1 month. Now, if you read 30,000 words also, that is big thing. Isn't it not to speak of 30,000 pages? But somebody makes a resolution that they themselves are not going to keep. One devotee last year told me that 2024 is going to be the best year of my life. So, why? I have made 108 resolutions. 108 resolutions are going to change my life. So I told him, Prabhu, with all due respect, whenever somebody uses the word with all due respect, that means what they are going to speak after that is not going to be very respectful. So, with all due respect, 108, that is not the number of resolutions. That is simply a wish list. Nobody can, after a few days, you will not even, because on that same day, you will not be able to remember the 108 resolutions. Let us speak of implementing. So, working on resolutions requires a lot of effort. You have to remember, you have to strategize, you have to execute, learn, improve. So, what happens is, at the level of Swapna, there are unrealistic resolutions that are made. Daydreaming happens. And then from there, the next stage is Swapnam Bhayam. There is fear that comes out of that. Fear, what is the fear over here? The fear is of even looking at oneself. Fear of considering whether we have kept the resolutions or not. That here, one starts not just fearing, it's dreading. Dreading even self-awareness. Because this is where I aim to be and this is where I am. I am so far below where I wanted to be that I am not able to look at myself. So we start dreading looking at ourselves. So at this stage, there will be many Maya in the world. You can be afraid of the outer dangers, but I'm talking right now in terms of resolutions. So we make unrealistic resolutions. When we can't stick to them, and we ourselves acknowledge, I want to stick to them, then we start dreading our resolutions, dreading keeping track of our resolutions. So we dread our resolutions and our tracking of the resolutions. It is as if somebody decided I want to lose weight. And they said, I'll not eat this, I'll not eat that, I'll not eat that. And somehow, what happens is they think, okay, instead of losing weight, I just lose my weighing scale. Now you can lose your weighing scale, but that is not going to change the fact, isn't it? It's like throw away the weighing scale. Okay, it's not going to work. We dread the time when there has to be accounting to be done. Instead of but now the nature is, sooner or later accounting has to be done. Somebody is diabetic and they say, I will not eat sugar. They keep eating it. Nothing is happening. And one day go and the doctor says, what did you do? You eat only sugar all this time. What has happened to your figure over here? So then it comes Vishadam. So if Vishadam is lamenting. So eventually we have to encounter reality. We cannot just deny and run away from reality. So we dread our resolutions, but then we lament our failure. We start lamenting our failure to switch to our resolutions. I have a friend in California who told me that says generally, he says he's in the mental health profession. He said in general, in the Western world it has been observed, at least in some parts, that by February, the number of people with depression increases. Now we say, what does February got to do with depression? February doesn't have anything to do with depression intrinsically. But what happens is, in Jan, people make resolutions, and by Feb, they come to the reality that I didn't stick to any of my resolutions. And then that starts making them depressed. So Vishadam is lamenting that I didn't do this, or I failed. But from there, what is the third one? Shokam. Yeah. So Shokam is lamenting. From there it is Vishadam. It is not just we focus on our failures. Here is when there is Vishadam, there is in one sense self-loathing. Self-loathing means we start beating ourselves. We start thinking, I am a failure. I am a loser. Nothing I do ever works. I am still useless person. In one sense, at the level of Vishadam, the person might be complaining about the world, but actually they are complaining about themselves. I am such a terrible person. Now, nobody can live like this, thinking I am a terrible person. So if we were in a relationship with somebody who we thought was a loser, then end the relationship right away. This is a toxic relationship. Now, if we think we are a loser, we can't break up with ourselves. So what do? That is where Madam. Madam is intoxication. Intoxication is sometimes thought of as a means to escape from the world. Oh, this is so bad, I just want to drink and forget it. Well, it is true, but that's only part of the truth. Madam is, I want to run away from myself. Intoxication, why do people take intoxication? They want to be someone else. I don't want to be who I am. I may be weak and sickly, and when I'm drunk, I imagine I'm powerful and everybody's scared of me. So we get into an alternate reality. Now this madam can also be done through digital technology. People can go into chat rooms and imagine someone that they have got a competition. There are character AIs and stuff like that which you can take on some other character. But the idea is, we just can't live with ourselves. And this is a terrible situation to be in. Now, we can try for intoxication to try to run away from ourselves. But how long can we do that? And the ultimate, this madam can lead to suicide. So suicide can have many different causes, but what is suicide essentially? It is an attempt to break up with oneself. Suicide is where I don't want to live with myself, but I cannot not live with myself. Therefore, I will not live with me. So there can be many problems people have in lives, and some problems are terrible, tragic, heartbreaking. But the thing, actually, no problem in the world catches a person by the hand and gets them to slit their arm, slit their hand, or slit their breast, or cut off their throat, or go and lie down on a train track. It does it. They do it because I just can't live with myself. So, this is the sequence where determination is involved. How is determination involved over here? Say that person is going on in the same thought patterns again and again and again. So generally speaking, we would consider determination as what? Generally think of determination as positive. Broadly speaking, we can say what is determination? It is persistence despite problems. Despite trouble. Somebody is determined. Say somebody said, I want to become fit. They go to the gym. They go to the first day to work out. And after that, they feel so much trouble and pain in the body. I want to go. Okay. Is they determined? Okay, when there is pain, I will go. So the idea is persistence despite problems is one characteristic of determination. But then the point of determination should be that by that persistence the problems will decrease and the problems will go away. But if by that persistence problems are increasing, say then that is persistence despite problems, it is good if eventually one becomes problem free. Say, for one day when somebody exercises, they feel a lot of pain, but they get used. Then far from feeling pain, after a workout they feel fitter, they feel healthier. But if they become problem-full, not problem-free, then this is tamasic determination. That means say somebody drinks, and by drinking they lose money. Nowadays, intoxication can come very differently. Nowadays there's no online gambling, there's sports gambling. The sports can seem very innocent. Oh, cricket is such a nice sport. We may enjoy cricket. But now it has become so commercialized. And not just commercialized in terms of big money involved in the players getting big money and having big sponsors and tickets costing a lot. But along with that there is gambling that is coming. And then now in the past people would have to go to gambling dens, to some place, a casino or somewhere to gamble. Now our phone is like a mobile gambling den with us. They can just gamble on some apps. So it's a very difficult situation to be in. So what happens? Somebody loses money, somebody loses others' respect, somebody loses their everything valuable, and still they keep doing it. That is determination. But it is determination in the mode of ignorance. So such tamasic determination actually keeps making things worse. So such a determination is very harmful. The result of the determination is we end up shaming ourselves. Shaming ourselves means what? The very resolution that we make becomes a stick by which we beat ourselves. You fool, you are a terrible person. You didn't do this and you didn't do that and you didn't do that and you didn't do that. And the most toxic situation is where someone else also takes the stick and starts beating us. Then life can become unbearable. See, our resolutions are meant to make us better. They're not meant to make us bitter. Bitter about the world, bitter about others, and bitter about ourselves. So when that happens, that is tamasic determination. So if our resolutions, they end up making us better, that is positive. But they end up making us bitter, and that is a bad thing. So then what do we do about this? How do we prevent this? So we talk that when we come to the mode of goodness, but let's look at determination in the mode of passion. Okay? Let's recite this one. I'll explain the verse and we can recite it. Yayatu, by which, that by which, dharma kamarthan. So one pursues, one even does one's duty. Dharma is a duty. It's not, can religion become your duty also? Kamarthan. The purpose is to fulfill one's desires. Yayatu dharma kamarthan. Dhrutya is determination. Dharayate. One takes on this determination. Arjuna. One very strongly takes up determination. Dhrutya dharayate Arjuna. So, prasangena. Very strongly attached to what? Phala akamshi. One wants the phala. Very strongly one wants the result. Prasangena phala akamshi. Such a determination is sapartha or Arjuna. It is rajasi. It is in the mode of passion. Dhruti sapartha rajasi. Once more. Yayatu dharma kamarthan. Kritya dharayate Arjuna. Prasangena phalakankshi. Kriti sapartha tamasi. Tamasi or rajasi? I wanted to say whether you are Tamagoda or not. Zero distant. So now, let's look at the characteristic of this. I am here and say this is some tower and maybe this is the victory. Which is what we're going to get to. So here, whereas the tamasic determination is about shaming. Tamasic is about shaming. But Rajasic is not about shaming, it is about showing. It is about showing others, I am so good, I have achieved this. Just see how wonderful I am, just see how glorious I am. So it is very much external. It is, the determination is not so much for changing ourselves, it is about showing others I have changed. So it is more extreme. Prasangena phalakankshi. Person is determined and that says it is good. Yata dharma kamarthan. Kamarthan is some kama, some desire we have and you pursue it with strength, with conviction. You pursue it, but it is primarily for showing others. Say, some people, they may decide, I want to crack this exam. Some people decide, I want to crack this exam. And all that happens is they get cracked by that exam. Just can't do it. But some people, they decide to crack this exam, and then for the 3 months, 6 months, nothing. They say, I'll put my phone aside, I'll not go to any party, I'll not waste any time. So they seem to have such determination. Sometimes people are on project deadlines, and they work in software field, the people work, they work for 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. Phenomenally hard they work. when you achieve the deadline, yes, now I achieved it. I become an achiever. So they feel this is so great. And yes, that to that extent the determination is to be appreciated. But the problem in this case of determination is, see, change can be in two directions. We can get better things. And that's change. If I just crack this exam, if I meet this project deadline, then I'll be recognized as the best student, as the best employee. Then we can get better things, or we can become better beings. We can either get better things, or we can become better beings. So now, we could say that sometimes we become not better beings, but bitter beings. So becoming better beings, this is tamasic. We get better things, that is rajasic. We become better beings, that is sattvic. So this invert this 90 degrees, so it's like a pendulum. Can we go outward this way, go outward that way, or we can come to the middle place. So now in Rajoguna, people can work very hard. They can achieve a particular goal, but after achieving that goal, it's like all their determination and discipline seems to just dissolve. To the extent that they refrain from partying till they got to meeting the project deadline. After that, they will party to compensate like, with interest. No, I will not drink for. And I was just in the Middle East yesterday, it's in Oman. And some of these places in the month of Ramadan, they will just abstain from many things. This is not to criticize any particular religion. In our tradition also, somebody will say, Shravan, I will not do this. And after that, he will do the same thing 10 times. So every religion has this. It's more for showing others how much of a pious person I am. It is not for changing ourselves. So when the determination is focused on getting external things, and people can be extraordinarily determined for that purpose. And by all means, a Rajasic determination is far better than a Tamasic determination. In Tamoguna, people will not be able to do anything for anyone else, they will only end up harming themselves. In Rajoguna, people can achieve certain things. And that is good that they have achieved that. But the focus becomes so external that there are two problems with this. See, with respect to material, or we can say external achievement, the problem can range from disappointment. Disappointment means, oh, I got it, but it was not as great as I thought it would be. It is like every material achievement, after you achieve it, it turns out to be an anticlimax. It's like you have a multi-movie series, and the hero and the villain, they have many fights, and they build up the third final movie. And the hero and the villain are about to fight, and a third person comes and just stabs the villain from the villain behind, and the villain dies. This is a stupid anticlimax, isn't it? This is not what you're expecting. So disappointment means the expectation is this much and the reality is only this much. So in Rajasic determination, one may achieve certain things, but even after achieving the things, the reality turns out to be far short of the expectations. And this itself, people solve it two ways. Set up another goal and try to achieve it. Or go into Tamoguna and just enjoy and forget everything. But sometimes it's not just disappointment, it can be devastation. Devastation means I try to achieve something, this is my expectation, but the reality turns out to be opposite and just as bad or worse. I thought I'll make $1 million by this, but I end up losing $1 million. And this can shatter me. So we may work very hard sometimes, but the nature of life is sometimes we may not achieve goals. And what happens is, if we don't achieve goals, if somebody is in a lot of pressure, okay, I didn't achieve this, let me chase after the next thing. And then chase after the next thing. And keep chasing after the next thing. And eventually, if they just can't achieve, then from Rajagoda, they will go to the mountain. I guess I am a loser. The world is a terrible place. I am a failure in life. So, this Rajasic determination, because it is so external, the result of that is that our self-worth becomes equated with our net worth. Our self-worth becomes equated with our net worth. And now if somebody's net worth goes down, goes up, they feel very proud, so that's a great person. If that net worth goes down, and they feel very insecure. They feel I am going through this. So external determination Rajasic determination can lead people to doing fantastic things. But the point is, they are only growing externally. They are not really growing internally. So it's like, what is happening is, in Rajasic determination, it is that the person's things may be improving, but their thoughts are worsening. Their thoughts are becoming more and more bitter. Now, if you want to take examples of Rajasic and Tamasic determination. So, Tamasic determination, the example is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, he, especially after Duryodhana was born, he longed that I should be the king or my son should be the king. But for him, he did not do anything about it. Because he allowed Duryodhana to do terrible things, to make a passive ruler. But a part of him knew also that what my son is doing is a terrible thing. Just before the war, Dhritarashtra was actually torn. Dhritarashtra, before the war, if he is here, he's torn on one side, the hope for the impossible. Hope that my son will win the war. And fear of the inevitable. My son has done such terrible things, he's going to suffer, he's going to die. So he was torn between his hope and his fear. So at least with Dhritarashtra, he had some sense of dharma, not a very strong sense of dharma. He was so attached to his son that he couldn't say no. But he would have periodic pangs of conscience. Oh, maybe this was a terrible thing, we should not have done it. But the problem with him was that it just didn't last. Spiritual wisdom, sometimes Vidura or others will speak to him. Spiritual wisdom can sometimes be like light, and sometimes it can be like lightning. Now when it is like lightning, what happens? Sorry? Vidura. When it is like, when something is like lightning, what does it mean? Yes, for a short time you see everything, after that everything becomes dark. So Vidura's words, like lightning, but in Duryodhana would come on, let's do this. Okay, let's do it. So, now every father, every parent will be affectionate to the child. But Dhritarashtra there's a difference between being affectionate and that is not the same as being attached. When we are affectionate to someone, we don't like to say no to them. If they ask us something, and even if we have to say no, there is unhappiness and unwillingness. Unhappiness in saying no. That's one characteristic of affection. If a child wants a toy, and we can't afford the toy for our child. We may have to say no, but we don't feel good doing that. That's affection. But attached is inability to say no. If you ask me something, I can never say no. Now that is not always a good thing. Sometimes you have to say no. That person will be asking something that is bad for them. So what was Dhritarashtra's relationship with Duryodhana? Was he affectionate or attached? Attached. There's practically no incident where he said no to his son. Sometimes he would say no and then he would say yes. So his no would not last. Our no does not mean no if we don't mean no. I say no, our no does not mean much. If I'm saying no externally, but I'm saying yes. Do you want more prasad? No. Sir, words are saying no, but our head is saying yes. So I say, our no does not mean no much. So the thing is, Dhritarashtra, his determination was tamasic. It just dragged him lower and lower and lower. He was just daydreaming, oh, one day I'll become the king. But his Duryodhana's determination on the other hand was what? Rajasic. Now Rajoguna, if it is guided by Sattva, it is good. Like Dhruva, his determination was also Rajasic. I want a kingdom. I want to show my father. You didn't allow me to sit on your lap when you were sitting on the throne. I will get a bigger throne than yours. So that is Rajasic determination. But it is guided by whom? By Naradmuni. Now, for Duryodhana, he was guided by who? Shakuni. Shakuni was the opposite of a Muni. So, what happened was that Duryodhana, he wanted to show, see, I am better than you. Everything that the Pandavas had, he wanted that more than them. And he got it. At least for some time, by his schemes, he was successful. But the thing is, he was not satisfied. Even when he got the kingdom, even when all his plans were successful, the Pandavas had been exiled. He had wanted to steal from Yudhishthira. Even he had not thought that Yudhishthira would gamble so much, would gamble his wife. See, for him, see that when he tried to disrobe Draupadi, it was not so much out of lust as it was out of power, out of ego. He wanted to humiliate the other person, the Pandavas, and Draupadi was a means by which he could humiliate her. So, when say for example rape is committed, the rape is not so much a crime of lust as it is a crime of pride or power. If somebody has lust, they can just go to a prostitute. But why chase someone? Why force someone down? Why dominate someone and exploit someone? Because it's ego. I can control you. I can bend you to my will. I can use and abuse you the way I want. So, for the Kauravas, Draupadi was a means by which they could humiliate the Pandavas. And they succeeded in that. Everything that the Pandavas had became the Kauravas' property. But even then, Duryodhana was not happy. Duryodhana thought, the Pandavas are living in poverty, I am living in prosperity. But what is the use of my prosperity if the Pandavas can't see my prosperity? I saw an advertisement of a car. It said, drive this car and enjoy the envy in your neighbor's eyes. What a standard for enjoyment. Not that drive this car, it is so smooth, it is so fast, it is so comfortable. No. It's like your joy is coming in seeing the misery of others. So, when the determination is rajasic, it becomes so externalized that unless I achieve something and others see that I have achieved it, there's no point in it. What is the value of it? So he made his keys, he was successful. And he felt that I have to go to the forest to show the Pandavas how great I am, how prosperous I am. And that's when his whole scheme backfired. We won't go into the whole story, but the point I'm making is, he tried to go and show the Pandavas how prosperous I am, but then the Gandharvas arrested him, and the Pandavas had to come and rescue him. And this was like the ultimate nightmare. The person who wanted to show how powerful I am, that person has to come and rescue you from a position of powerlessness. He was totally humiliated. So what happened? He got, why am I talking about this? See, I mentioned this thing about things and thoughts. So Duryodhan, what happened was, his things had improved. Things had got the whole kingdom, the Pandavas' kingdom he had got. But his thoughts had become worse. He had got the kingdom, but his envy had not gone away. I am better than you. I want to show you that you are better than me. That I am better than you. So it's all about showing. At this level, we may achieve particular goals through our determination, but that won't make us a better person. That won't even make us satisfied. Somebody may achieve something substantial, significant, but then the craving, I want more of this and more of this and more of this, that will go on. So Rajasic determination, it's like there is achievement without contentment. There is achievement, but there is no contentment. Contentment is satisfaction. So we may achieve our goals, but we won't be satisfied with those. So achievement and contentment. Achievement is called in the Vedic tradition as Abhyuday. And contentment is called as Nishreyas. Now, if we put this in four quadrant diagram, we can have achievement and we can have contentment. So now, tamasic means, do we have achievement? Do we have contentment? No. This is the worst. This is the darkest. Now, where will Rajasic fall in these four quadrants? Second one, right bottom. Achievement, but no contentment. So, this is where there are a lot of materialistic people who work very hard and who achieve a lot of things. And their hard work is to be appreciated. But there is no contentment in there. So, the resolution, the kind of determination we want is sattvic determination. Let us look at that as the last part of this talk now. So, this is 33rd verse. Drutya yaya dharete. That determination that is taken up, that is assumed, that is sustained. Drutya yaya dharete. Mana pranendriya kriya. Straightforwardly, that what is the determination about? Our mind, our senses, our life air, and our actions. We direct and guide all of them. How yogi avicharya. We practice yoga and we become fixed. We don't get deviated. Yogena vivicharya. Dhriti, that determination. So Arjuna is sattviki. Dhriti sapartha sattviki. Dhrityaya dharayate. Kriya Yogena vibhicarinya Kriti Sapartha Satviki. So, here the focus is not so much on outer achievement, it is on inner achievement. It is, I need to control my senses, I need to control my mind. Now, of course, we can say, when we control our senses, control our mind, we are more likely to achieve results also. But the focus is not on the results. The focus is on what? Focus is on self-discipline, self-restraint. And when this kind of determination is there are two possibilities. Yogi Agavicharanya. So both of these will be sattviki. Through sattvic determination, we will achieve contentment. Because what happens is, in sattvic determination, through the practice of yoga, something substantial changes within us. Yoga means connection. Yoga means we understand that there is a higher reality beyond the reality of this world. So what is the difference between, say, a bhogi and a yogi? So for a bhogi, for a materialistic person, now I am not talking about bhogi as a tamasic person, I am talking bhogi as a rajasic person. A bhogi, that person might even be religious. For that person, the world is very big. Getting fame, getting power in the world, that is very important. And God, even if He exists, is small. When I started practicing Bhakti about 30 years ago, I started sharing our Bhakti with all my relatives. So one of my uncles, when I told him about Krishna, he said, yeah, I believe in God. He's happy there, I'm happy here. So the idea is, God seems irrelevant. God is not very important. If He exists, okay, sometimes if I pray to Him and He can help me, then He's of some use, but otherwise not of much use. However, for a person who is yogi, the world becomes small and God becomes big. Now, we can say becomes means what? Krishna is always the biggest reality. But we realize Him to be the bigger reality. Now, what does bigger and smaller means? When we say bigger and smaller, we think that the world will give me great happiness. And Krishna will give me little happiness. Oh, okay, if I come to temple, I take some darshan, I do some kirtan, it feels nice. It is one among many nice things that I do in life. But the real happiness will come. I get a big house, I get an attractive partner, if I become a billionaire, all those things. That's what will give me great happiness. But when we grow spiritually, we understand that it is the Lord who can give us great, not just great, but the greatest happiness. And the world, even if it gives us some happiness, it is little happiness. Yeah, even if I succeed, it's not that we don't want to succeed, but yeah, even if I become famous, even if I become popular, what is the point of it all? It's there today, it's going to go tomorrow. So, I met across, when I travel across the world, I met some very famous people. Some people are like super celebrities. So, I talked with them about how they started their spiritual journey. One of the things, he told me that, he said that it really began when I understood. This person has like 10 million followers on Instagram, huge number. So he said that it struck me that this fame is not really real. So many people are following me, but how many relationships do I have? How many connections do I actually have? So it's there, it's real, but it's not really real. It'll be there. It doesn't, so the world does not matter so much. It matters, but not so much. So when we start understanding that, then our spiritual side becomes more important for us. So we may achieve material things. Going back to this previous diagram, what will happen is, if our thoughts improve, then we will get contentment. If my thoughts are about, oh, this person is better than me, this person is better than me, this person has got more wealth than me, this person has got more followers than me, more people respect this person, then we will always be unhappy. But if we are connected with Krishna, if we are absorbed in Krishna, then we will be happy. Even if our particular resolution is not fulfilled. Somebody decides, in this next 1 year, I'm going to read the full Bhagavad. And that means, full Bhagavad is very big. But okay, one can't go full Bhagavad. That may seem too small. Let's assume, okay, I'm going to do that. And suppose somebody succeeds, somebody doesn't succeed. But through the attempt to do that, if they develop taste for the Bhagavad, if they develop taste for hearing about Krishna, learning about Krishna, that will be a far greater gain when somebody just rushes to the Bhagavatam as if just move to the previous. The point is not to finish the Bhagavatam. The point is to develop attraction to Krishna, isn't it? So the thing is, we may or may not achieve our externals, but we will get contentment internally. That's why the way the determination becomes strong, yogi avavicarinya, that happens by the practice of yoga. That I am doing this to connect with Krishna more and more. That connection with Krishna gives me strength, it gives me satisfaction. That's how I can keep doing it, even if I achieve the result, or even if I don't achieve the result. So this determination, sattvic determination, is not, this is about showing. Tamasic determination is about shaming. The person ends up shaming themselves. This is about shaping. It's not so much about showing the world, it is about shaping my inner world. When we use the word reform, reform, we use it to mean a positive change. The reformed person. But reform literally means reform. We need to reform what? Our mind, our inner world. We want to change the impression, the sanskaras in our mind. And when they are changed, then we will be changed inside out. Our thoughts will become better. Our thoughts will become better. Then we will be satisfied, irrespective of whether things in our life become better or not. They will, even if they don't, we will become better. So, this is sattvic determination. And we focus more on not how much I have that I can show to the world. We focus on how much I have reshaped my life. How much have I reshaped my values. How much have my thoughts become better? This means that when we practice Krishna consciousness, when we chant the holy names, when we study the Bhagavad Gita, the point is we want to change our thoughts. And I'll conclude with two last points about changing our thoughts. That in this determination, the focus is on understanding that the mind is what needs to be changed the most. This is what needs change. Say, my social media profile needs to be reinvented. I want to become a better professional. I want to become physically better. All those things may be there. But what needs to change the most is my mind. And the change of the mind does not require change of the world around me. It can help at times, but that is not the primary thing. So I don't have to become popular to become pure. Popularity, when it comes, good. But purity can come with popularity, purity can come without popularity. So that recognition that if I want my life to be better, the most important thing that needs to change is not that I set this goal and I achieve this goal. That's important. But when Krishna says karmanye vadhikaraste, so one devotee recently asked me, should I, Krishna says karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha. So if we should be detached, then how can we set any resolutions? Shouldn't we be detached from our resolutions also? What do you think? Should we be detached from our resolutions? No? Then what is Krishna talking about? If you see in the Bhagavad Gita, this is 2.47. 2.47 says Ma Phaleshu Kadacha. That is there. But there is also 2.41. Vyavasayamika buddhi ekeva kurunandana bahushakhayanantasya buddhayo avyavasayina. That be one-pointed Krishna. Be one-pointed means what? It is basically be resolute, make resolutions. So Krishna is telling us to be resolute. But at the same time, when Krishna is saying, be detached. So what does this mean, be detached? He's saying be detached from the results, not the endeavors. Be detached from karmanye vadhikaraste. Don't detach from the endeavors. So sometimes when we make resolutions, they may or may not succeed. So there is the resolution and there is the purpose of the resolution. What is it that I want to achieve with this resolution? So if you understand, all the resolutions that I make are ultimately to reform my mind. So even if I decide, okay, every day I'm going to read Shastra for half an hour. We do it for 1 month and then suddenly life becomes too complicated, we become distracted, we can't do it. We suddenly know, I can never do this. What does it mean? I can't stick to the emotions. No, instead of thinking like that, for 1 month I did it and that was good. That much my mind was reformed. And if I do it again, okay, I couldn't do it for 1 week, life became too busy, let me start up with it. So our attachment or our focus should not be so much on the resolution as on the purpose of the resolution. Why do I want to make this resolution? Ultimately, it is to go closer to Krishna. It is to change my mind so that it becomes pure. Whatever the solution we are setting. Okay, I want to become fitter. Why do I want to become fitter? So that I can function better. So that I can have more time. I don't feel so tired. Whatever it is. We start with the purpose in mind. Keep the purpose fixed. And sometimes the resolution may not work, but we won't become so discouraged that we will give it up. So the idea is that when we are functioning, that will be the last point over here, that when we are trying to make resolutions, there are two distinct factors over here. There is, I said we want to become better. So there is the push factor, we are trying to push ourselves. And then there is the pull factor. Krishna is pulling us up. You can say the world is also pulling us down. That is true. But I am talking more about the change. You want to change for the better, then you want to reform. So what happens is, we are trying to push ourselves upward. I want to change. But what is important for us to remember? That Krishna also wants us to change. But sometimes if we succeed in our resolutions, maybe we waste too much time on this and that, and we stop that. We give some unhealthy habit, but if we succeed in our resolutions, that may lead to pride. And that could be a bigger problem. We could become arrogant, we could become disrespectful to others. So sometimes we may not succeed in the resolution, but we will still keep moving toward Krishna. If we stay humble, then we can pick ourselves up keep moving forward. I tried it, I failed, but I can try it. If the resolution is only for showing others, then what happens if we fall down, if we are not able to succeed? Our first concern is nobody should see it. If somebody sees it, if people know about it, I couldn't stick to it, and what is the use of doing it only? Even if I succeed, people will think that what is the point of it? We already know. So its focus is on shaping ourselves. So sometimes we may fail, we may succumb, but we can rise again. And we can succumb, we can rise again. But if we are in a mood of prayer, not just resolution, sometimes resolution can be a mood of control. I will control myself. No. Sometimes when we chant the holy names, somebody goes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's like you're trying to catch Krishna. It's coming to my mind. We are not going to catch Krishna and drag him into our mind. Actually, our chanting is meant to open our consciousness so that Krishna can come over there. So the point is that pushing is important, but don't get so caught in the effort of pushing that we miss out on the fact that Krishna is also pulling us. Maybe we might not succeed in one resolution, but Krishna will pull us upwards to some other resolution. And then we understand, I became better, but it was not because of my efforts. It is because of Krishna's mercy. And what will happen by that? We will get purity, will become better, but that purity won't come at the cost of our humility. I didn't do this, actually it was some higher mercy that came. So I was trying to improve in this direction and I didn't succeed. And if you're too fixated, this is how I must improve, then I didn't improve in this direction, what is the use of trying to improve? But what may happen is, I try to improve in this direction, I don't succeed. So the push is not enough. But while trying to improve in that direction, they find that Krishna pulls me in some other direction and pulls me upwards. So through the attempt to make resolution, to reform our mind, we'll find that Krishna will lift us up, but often in a way different from what we have planned. So that's why, say, if when we're making resolutions, sattvic resolutions, then it is yogein avibhicharenya. It is that the yoga practice is what makes it unbreakable. That means we become too attached. And if we succeed, that leads to pride. Too attached and success, that leads to pride. Too attached and failure, that leads to utter hopelessness. Nothing works, why should I even try? But if we are focused on the purpose more than the resolution. The purpose is that I want to become better. Resolution is, this is the way I'll become better. Then what will happen is, we will through this, we'll find that we may become better, but in a way different from what we thought. And that way, we may have purity, but with humility. So purity is that Krishna's full word. Humility is that it was my push, was not what made the change, was not what transformed me. So when we have this understanding, we will keep endeavoring, but we will not get caught in our endeavors and become proud. This our devotee can make endeavors to change oneself for the better. And because we go closer to Krishna, we will have contentment even if we do not have the achievement. The achievement is, this is what I wanted to achieve, maybe we achieved, maybe we won't. It may be very possible that we achieved also. We consider Arjuna, that is the example of sattvic determination. Arjuna performed a lot of austerities. And Arjuna also had to go through ups and downs in life. Externally, he was a champion archer, and he got the ultimate dream girl. He got married to Draupadi, he got a kingdom. But then everything was lost in one moment. And what was worse was, it was big, not even because of his fault. Could have blamed my stupid brother. Not in his fault. Then he accepted it. He went to the Himalayas, performed austerities. And then he performed spectacularly and won the kingdom. And then a few years later, Krishna departed from the world. So life, when Arjuna's life, you look at it externally, ups and downs are always there. But Arjuna became more and more focused on Krishna. And that's how, through adversity, he was not shaken. He was able to stay content, stay enriched. Even when there was when there was achievement and when there was no achievement. That is determination in the mode of goodness. Where the focus is on connecting with our core self, with connecting with Krishna and making our thoughts more positive, becoming internally enriched. So, when Prabhupada said, chant with Krishna and be happy, he's talking about changing the content of our thoughts. That is what will ultimately lead us to happiness. That's what we have the opportunity through the understanding of the message of Bhagavad Gita to spiritually inform and transform ourselves as we make our resolutions. So I'll summarize. The topic was our resolutions, New Year resolutions mainly. I talked about three main things. The first point was they're talking about the modes. The modes are ropes, but they are not like shackles. They are like puppeteer strings. They are invisible and they keep pulling us here and there. And so when we grow, first I understand that there are external things which pull me away. They push me back. And then as I move forward, I understand there's something inside me which pushes me back. So we need both to fight against both of these, and this internal that pushes me back is the modes. Then we discussed about tamasic determination. So first was the introduction of the modes and the inner world. In tamasic, what happens is complete downward trajectory. We end up shaming ourselves. We start from daydreaming, fantasizing. Then when fantasizing doesn't work, we start dreading even keeping account of what we are doing. But then, when we have to keep track of, oh, I didn't work, I didn't succeed, then we start lamenting. And when lamenting becomes habitual, then we start becoming dejected, we start becoming morose. So we start lamenting, we become habitually complaining, and then finally, we start deluding ourselves. Deluding means through intoxication. Let's run away from ourselves. So, Veya Swapnam Bhayam Shlokam Vishadam Madavevacha. This can ultimately lead to a person trying to end their life. Suicide is like a breakup with oneself. I don't want to live with myself, so I won't live. It's a terrible thing. Then we talk about Rajasic determination. So the example of this was Dhritarashtra. So Rajasic determination is where what happens? That we are too focused on external results. The external results are good to achieve, but sometimes what happens? That the things, they may become better, but the thoughts, what happens? They become bitter. So this is what happened to Duryodhana. He succeeded in getting all the Pandavas' wealth, but still the result was he was so envious. He was never satisfied with all the wealth. So we don't want to just improve our things. If we can, that's good. We want to improve our thoughts. And in sattvic determination, there are three things in this. First is that when somebody is a materialist, a bhogi, the world is very big. But then the world becomes small and Krishna becomes big. What does that mean? Krishna can give me more happiness than what the world can give me. And that's how the focus becomes more on connecting with Krishna than on achieving things in the world. And we discuss these four quadrants. There is achievement, and then there is contentment. So there is none neither in tamasic determination. There is achievement in rajasic determination. Now, Sattvic can be both. So Arjuna's example was, sometimes he was prosperous, sometimes he was not. But still, because his thoughts were focused on Krishna, he was content. Not just content, he was not just contentment, he had actually enrichment. And that connection, I discussed about how should we be detached? Yes, we are detached from the results, but not from the endeavors. We endeavor. Now, how can we endeavor and not be attached to the results? That is, we understand that there are outer results which may or may not come, but the inner results, in terms of the change, mind being changed, that can always happen to us. And if that happens, then that is our greatest aim. I talk about how Krishna can bring about a mind change in a different way. So we become proud because our plans succeed. We become hopeless because our plans fail. But what happens is, we can have purity and humility. Our plans succeed, that our purpose succeeds. Maybe our resolution doesn't work, but Krishna opens us to purity in some other way. And we do become that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I hope you like the class of Prabhuji. अगर आपको प्रभु जी का सेशन प्रेजेंटेशन पसंद है, so loudly say 3 times Hari Bol. So very nicely Prabhuji explained how we, whenever New Year's comes, we are not able to take different resolutions. What is the reason Prabhuji told? Because there are 3 different types of determination. Prabhuji told in the Rajasic determination, Tamasic determination, and Sattvic determination. And when we are not able to take the determination or not able to fulfill the determination, we become depressed. And next time we think, okay, from next time I will not take any determination. But Prabhuji very nicely explained how by different processes we can make our determination more strong and positively and devotionally we can take determination and we can follow it. So let us welcome Prabhuji, let us thank Prabhuji and welcome again for the next, like Prabhuji, I think 1 month back also Prabhuji came. So let us welcome Prabhuji for the next month also if Prabhuji is available, and thanks Prabhuji that Prabhuji is here and he gave his valuable association by loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
We have time? 5 minutes.
If anybody has questions, they can ask.